Okay, this is a general reading for the Cancers with my Oracle card for the month of December 2018. Keep in mind it's a general reading, so it's like one size fits most, but not one size fits all. Kind of like that t-shirt at the dollar store. It's like, it's cute, but it's really not going to fit everybody. Also, keep in mind you can be going through different stages in life, so, this energy may have applied a few months beforehand, and this energy may apply a few months later. Also keep in mind that it may apply to you differently, as in not all signs and one zodiac sign is all positive and then the other one is all negative. Every sign has got negative and positive people in it. But the way I look at it is the general population of people are mostly positive. They just every now and then do something nasty or not okay. So yeah, keep that in mind. It may apply to you differently, and if a liar card pops up, it does not mean you're the liar. And if you are a liar, it does not mean you're a negative person. It just means you did something you might want to say sorry for. And I know I made a habit of trying to just shuffle the cards out like that, and whatever pops up, pops up. But it's kind of time consuming, so I'm going to just start drawing 4 cards for each month. For the month I'm doing a reading on. This one you get 5 cards though, because 2 of them jumped out on the last part, so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to argue with the universe. It wants to pop out 2 on the 4th card. So I'm going to look at them as a combination together in some way. Okay, the first card that did pop out was Sisters of the Seasons, Cycles of Growth, Natural Law, Divine Order. Pretty sure this card just states what it means all on its own, but if I have to, explain it a little more in details, it just means you go through cycles in life. We all do. That's pretty much common sense. We know that. And sometimes some cycles are good, and some cycles are like, oh, I wish that wouldn't have happened. It's one of those things you're just like, I hate it. And some cycles you learn and grow through. Some you don't, but I think the majority of the time we usually learn through that, that season and that time we went through. So it just pretty much means you're in a season in time, or you're about to enter a new season in time. So if you're, I don't know, maybe you're feeling a little stressed out, and the card's trying to say, don't worry, this is just a season, it will pass. And, or it may be saying, hey, you're entering into a new season now. So prepare yourself for that, a new cycle of growth. No, I can't say whether the new season of growth is something positive or negative. I guess it's like one of those things where, like, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Sometimes it doesn't feel so good, but it doesn't mean you can't look for the positives in the situation. That doesn't mean that in this cycle it's going to be absolutely shitty, though. It just means, I don't know. This is not a personal reading. This is a general reading, so I don't know what season of growth you're going through. All I can say is it's a card that means you've gone through a season, you're going through a season, or you're about to enter a new season. Just take whatever applies, and if it doesn't apply, then ignore it. It's not for you. Alright, the Hungry Ghost, Obsession, Scarcity, Conscious Attachment. Now this just means you're hungry and very focused on something from the past. And I don't know what I'm picking up on. But yeah, I'm really feeling like there's something from the past that, usually I think about it as if you're thinking of another person, but I don't know, I'm kind of feeling like something like you're thinking about yourself, though. You're like thinking about something you had done, or of the person you used to be. Like, maybe you're fond of the past and wishing you were that person again, or maybe you did something wrong in the past and you're really focused on it right now, and like basically looking at yourself like a piece of shit when you shouldn't be doing that. Yeah, I guess if you're, let me see. Well, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, weird. Sorry, I just noticed there's a second fairy in this card. I always thought there was 2, but I always thought there was 1, but there's another one right here, and I didn't even see her. Oh, wow, that's weird. Okay, I just noticed something about my cards I never noticed before. Sorry, got ADHD. I'm gonna get distracted like that. But yeah, if it is something from your past, like if you're wishing to be a person again, all I can say is if that person that was you is really genuinely a good person, all I can say is just try working on yourself. It doesn't mean you're a bad person now, but it's clearly something you desire. Or, if you're just beating yourself up and, maybe the person you were before is no better than you are now, you're just beating yourself up. I would definitely then at least say, try to look inward and look at the good stuff about you now in the present. And these are just examples. This is not a personal reading, so I can't really get down to specifically what you need or might be helpful. So I'm just giving some ideas, and you kind of just take what applies to you, what you feel resonates with you more. And if it's something that you regret, you did something in the past and you regret it, and you're not feeling happy about it, all I can say is just try to forgive yourself and let it go. It does not mean that you're going to forget about it. I know some people say forget and forgive, but I definitely am not somebody that says forgive and forget. I say forgive, but don't forget. Part of remembering is part of what keeps you driven to make sure you don't do this again. Kind of like how we remember history. We remember all the bad shit, too, in history. And it's not because we want to repeat it. It's because we want to remind ourselves what evil looks like. Or, bad or wrong. We remind ourselves what that looks like, so that we know when we see it not to repeat it. So, but it doesn't mean we're angry with everybody involved. I mean, for an example, like Hitler in Germany, we remember that history, so we know what it looks like, so we don't repeat it. And does that mean we hate Germany? No, that's Germany's past. And, like, I mean, so freaking past that anybody alive today is likely, it's a whole new generation and a whole new season for Germany. It's not a Hitler season. Hitler already died. That season's over. They're in a different season then. A different wavelength, you might say. That's more aware than perhaps it was before in that time. And that doesn't mean that Germany wasn't aware then either. A lot of the things Hitler was doing, he wasn't actually letting the rest of his people know what he was doing when that first began. I'm not really sure if I can get into detail of it, or I'd be making the video longer. All I can say is go find a book and read it, and you'll understand what the heck I'm talking about. He didn't really tell the people. He didn't tell the rest of the country, like other people in other countries. Other leaders is what I mean. Yeah. It took some time before they realized what was really going on and what he was doing to the Jewish people. So, we remember these things so that we don't repeat it. And I'm not saying whatever you did was so bad it's like Hitler. I highly doubt that. That is just not likely. But you may be focused on something in the past that you're feeling guilty for. That's something you did or said. Some sort of action you took, and you feel guilty about it. Pretty much just look back, remember, but forgive. It doesn't mean you're going to repeat that. It doesn't mean you're going to do it again. In fact, things that you feel that guilty tells me that you are working on making sure to never do it again. So, forgive, and, try to focus more on the present, on who you are now, and forgive yourself. But yeah. I don't know why I'm picking up a strong feeling about that. It's not a person you're missing, it's something about yourself you're missing, or you're looking back and regretting. But yeah, okay. The Fire Prince, optimism, aggression. That just, to me, usually means anger. Just angry or vengeful or spiteful. And it doesn't mean you're angry with another person. Sometimes you're angry with yourself. And I'm not, if you're angry with another person, I'm not going to tell you you're in the wrong. I think anger is actually a very healthy thing. If kept in balance, it is okay to have. I'm not one of those people that are going to tell you to practice never being angry at all, because that is there for a reason. It helps you relieve your stress. It helps you let out all those emotions that you are feeling sometimes, whether it be depressed or hurt. Anger is okay as long as it's in a balance, because if it's imbalance, then you have anger management problems. But if you're keeping it in balance, I'm not going to tell you that it's not okay to be angry then. As for being angry with yourself, I think that's one of those things that it's like, don't stay there. I understand that's human. From time to time, we are angry with ourselves, but don't stay there. That's when it's imbalanced. It's not healthy. You're staying there then when there's a lot of good things we can focus on in life, then beat up ourselves. And if it's angry with another person, I'm not going to tell you how long you should or should not be angry. I just hope that you reach a point when you know to stop being angry, because sometimes you're angry for 5 minutes. Sometimes you're angry for a week. Sometimes you're angry for a month. Sometimes you're angry for a little longer than that. And then sometimes you're angry for a year. And I can definitely say, if you're being angry for a year, it's probably definitely reached an unhealthy level. But if it hasn't been a year yet and you're angry with somebody, I'm not going to tell you how long you should or shouldn't be angry, because frankly, I don't know who the person is. So I don't know, what kind of troubles you're having with them. I don't know. Maybe the next cards will explain it, and I'll get onto those a little bit, but I'm already kind of glancing at them. I'm like, yeah, I bet you're pissed off. I'll explain that in a second. But yeah, if you're angry with somebody, and it's reaching up to a year, I would definitely say it's not healthy, because that means you're keeping this person in your life even though they're toxic to you and causing you such discomfort. And that's the only reason why I would want to say that it's unhealthy if it reaches that point, because it says you're not letting go your anger because you won't let go of this person even though you need to. But yeah. And, I'm saying up to a year because, sometimes it's somebody you love. Sometimes you just like giving second chances. It's not that there's anything really close or personal there. It's just your personal choice. You like giving second chances sometimes. So, I'm not going to tell you how many second chances you should give them or what you shouldn't give them. All I can tell you is if you're reaching up to a point of a year, then at this point it's reached an unhealthy level where you're hanging on to something you need to let go of. Okay, here's the fourth card. Well, fifth and fourth. I mean, they're kind of together. The Desert Prince, Survival, False Promises. And the Keeper of the Scales, Fairness and Balance. Now, doesn't that seem conflicting? You got surviving false promises, so someone lied to you, and fairness and balance here. You would think this just does not go together. But to me, I would think you have survived someone's false promises. Someone's lied to you. Someone's hurt you. And perhaps that's why you're angry. That's why you're pissed off. You actually have a good damn reason to be angry. And I don't know. Now that I think about it, maybe they're guilt tripping you. Maybe that's why you're focusing on something from the past. But being that this card, the Fairness and Balance, came up, that tells me you've likely let this person go, or you're in the process of doing it right now. You're already recognizing it, and you're starting to try to create this energy of needing and wanting fairness and balance, and creating it to be, what you practice from now on in your life. I kind of feel like this is a life lesson. You have learned to no longer let people take advantage of you, and you're going to start making sure there's fairness and balance, that you're treated equally, you're treated as important as you are important. So that's mostly what I get a feel from that card, and that's why the fairness and balance pops up after the liar here. Now remember, yeah, I recognize that not all cancers are the same. You know, some of you may be the liar. You may be surviving your own false promises. And that would mean likely you're angry with yourself. That would mean that's why you're feeling guilty at this point. Or maybe wishing you were younger and nicer, kinder, as you may have once been. But with this card to pop up as well with the liar card, that would tell me that you're likely trying to work on being at fairness and balance to treat others fairly and treat yourself fairly as well. I know that may sound weird because nobody thinks about a liar not treating themselves fairly, but often when somebody is egotistical or lying and whatnot, there's a lot of inward beating up going on we don't know about. You know, and if you need help, I do encourage people to go seek professional help. As I may be a practicing psychic, but I am not a therapist. I do not have the knowledge to be able to offer to help someone through that. I know I like to dabble in psychology, so I'm a tad bit useful, but I am not a professional. There's no way I would be able to help somebody professionally. All I can do is try to give advice and do the best I can to help. But, you know, there's no shame in seeking help if you're having difficulty having yourself become the better version of yourself you want to be, that you work on is too difficult. Trying to quit lying, or sometimes quit being egotistical or quit being narcissistic, that can be as difficult sometimes as trying to quit drugs or alcohol. So, you know, there really is no shame in seeking help at all. Also, do not be afraid of them trying to diagnose you with something, or trying to prescribe you pills for something. A lot of time people go in there to get help. It's just they need tools to help them balance their emotions and how to work through their emotions, how to acknowledge their emotions healthily and express them in a healthy manner. So usually that's what a counselor and a therapist and a psychologist do. So don't worry about being prescribed stuff or being, you know, diagnosed with something. The likely is that's not going to happen. You're just going to get tools that you were not taught to have in your upbringing. You know, and you may be there, you know, sometimes needing help for even a couple of years. But, you know, as long as it's helping, that's what matters. And, you know, you'll be a healthier, happier you that you want to be. So I'd say that, you know, the counseling and whatnot is worth it. Alright, that was your reading. And even though I said I was trying to keep it from being too time consuming, I got it up to 18 minutes here. I guess I'm going to have to try not to talk so much. I got ADHD and that's probably not going to work then, but hey, I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you don't, I'm going to flash the cards to you and let you try to get a feel of what you think they mean. Because it's a general reading and I may have not given you the message that you feel that is right for you. You know. So you deserve that chance to get the message that you feel is right for you. Alright, Cancers. You have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and goodbye now. You have a good one.